Raise your hand if you've ever judged a brand, a product, or even a book just by how it looked. That's because our brains are wired to believe that what looks right is right. After all, design doesn't just communicate. It can manipulate. In fact, it can make you a better liar. When we think of lies, we think of words and sentences, not fonts and colors. But in design, lying can mean presenting the information in a way that hides the truth or misleads the user, mislead you. It can be as subtle as hiding an unsubscribe button or making a warning sign look unimportant. Design can lie, and it does it beautifully. After all, our brains are wired for efficiency. They love patterns and shortcuts. Red makes us stop. Blue makes us trust. Even fonts, colors, and spacing affects how we process the truth. And this all comes thanks to Daniel Kahneman's idea of System 1 and System 2 thinking. System 1 thinking is the fast, emotional, the automatic part of our brain. System 2 thinking is the logical part, but it takes effort. And System 1 thinking, design is a shortcut for it. That's why we often trust a sleeky-looking website rather than a sketchy-looking one. Let's look at these two examples. Which packaging do you think has more of a product? Raise your hand if you think it's A. Now, raise your hand if you think it's B. What if I told you B has actually more of a product? Companies would make their product seem more with sneaky packaging. What about this? Healthy snacks. We're all familiar with them. The green color, the imagery of vegetables, the buzzwords like natural, healthy, organic. But once you look at the sugar content, you're honestly better off eating a bag of chips. Other ways designers can lie is by using a technique called dark patterns. Ever tried to unsubscribe from an app, but it felt like an endless series of questions? They keep asking you stuff like, can you give us a review? Can you give us a tip and tricks to improve the app? What made you delete the app? Those are all intentional to make sure that the app stays in your devices. But here's the twist. These same tools can be used by every single one of you. Want a boring report to look more credible? Use a better font. Want someone to click on your link? Use the right color. But there is a fine line between persuasion and deception. Is it okay to highlight the good and hide the flaws? What if hiding the flaws hurts someone? The question isn't just if design lies. It's when the lie causes harm. Take the Fire Festival that happened in April 2017, for example. Amazing promotion, celebrity website, perfect design, but it was all a lie. They were left stranded with no food, no water, and just tents to survive. Design helped sell a dream, but it also deceived. What about social media filters? Harmless? Maybe. But the unrealistic expectations they put on people affect mental health. Design isn't neutral. Consider this, 2 websites. Which website would you trust with your credit card? Raise your hand for website A. Now raise your hand for website B. What if B is the more secure one? Website A uses a technique called aesthetic usability effect. The more credible something looks, the more usable we think it is. And that proves how powerful design is. It judges your question before you even think. Let's look at this brand. The brand would tell you they changed their packaging to make it more sustainable. You as a consumer would think, oh, that's good. I'm paying the same price for a smaller size. I'm paying the same price and I'm helping the environment. But when you look at the quantity, you'll find out that the quantity decreased. This is called shrinkflation. Same price, smaller size. The packaging tweaked just enough to trick your eyes. But it's not just about colors and icons. It's also fonts. Thanks to Don Norman's book, The Design of Everyday Things, neuroscience proved that fonts trigger different parts of our brain. Script fonts are more authoritative. Rounded fonts, friendly. Serif fonts are more authoritative. Script fonts are more human, but reliable, not at all. But haven't we all stretched the truth with design? Maybe it's to impress someone or to meet a deadline. Design gives us power, but like every power comes with responsibility. Are you designing truthfully or just cleverly? Consider this, 2 charts. The one on my right is boring, unaesthetic. You wouldn't look at it, unlikable. The one on my left is designed. We gave it emotions, colors, icons, ideas. Is it easy to understand? Absolutely. But the design is now more filtered. But now that you know these tools, how do you protect yourself from them? 3 simple steps. 1, slow down when design feels urgent. Do you want that lipstick, or is it just the packaging attracting your eyes? 2, scan for extra charges, the shipping fee, the small order fee, the service fee. And 3, look at contrast tricks. A faded no thanks button, but a bright yes one. At the end, design doesn't have to lie. It frames, it suggests. It guides you to a conclusion you didn't even question. But once you learn the language, you spot the ghosted buttons, the fake timers, the over-designed facts. You become a visual detective, and you stop being passive. And that's real power. Not just designing the truth, but making sure everyone sees that truth. Because every pixel has its own story. Thank you.